What's up, man? This Lives Unplugged. In today's video, I want to be talking about religion, and I want people to think with some common sense. I say all religion is BS. I'm gonna tell you why. Because someone named me one God out of all the gods in the world has come down to help humanity in today's time. Name one God that has come down to help humanity in today's time. Exactly. There is not one God that has come down to help humanity. Not Jesus. Jesus hasn't came to help no one. Not Krishna. Not Zeus. Not Hades. Not one single God has come down to help humanity. Think about that. Today we in the worst time of any of all the centuries. I feel like as in 2024 we're living in the worst times. I feel like the homeless rates are up like crazy. People are starving. People are suffering. Innocent people getting killed, innocent people getting raped, all this type of violence. Not one God has came down from that sky to help any of us humans. And that's something to think about. Why has no God come down to help humanity? Humanity is suffering. Not one single God has come down to help us. Why is that? I want people to think about that. But I'll tell you why that is. Because you got to understand there's a difference between God and a creator. In fact, it's a difference between gods and a creator. The creator is inside those gods. And the creator is inside you. The creator is inside plants, animals, anything that has life, the creator is inside of you. Which makes you a god by default. So let's just say back in the ancient times, let's just say all the gods listed were real. Let's just say that. Let's just put that out there. Let's say all the gods that people recorded were real. Let's just say that. How was those gods created? I want people to think about that. It has to be a certain energy, certain life force that's in those gods for them to exist. And that same energy is inside you. It's inside anything that has life. When people talk about the gods or gods, they usually talk about a physical being. But the creator, when I'm talking about the creator, I'm talking about a certain energy. It's not physical, and it's not a certain genre. When we talk about the creator, we're talking about a certain energy, certain vibrations that's inside everything that has life. Everything. That's why I say there's no technically there's no good and bad. Because if you take a look at the world and we take a look at different people, we see it's always a disagreement. It's with something. There's not no one that's on the same page. And that's another problem with religion. Out of all the religions, no one can get on the same page. Take a look at all these gods. Take a look at all these gods. Now, one of these gods has come down to help us. This is 400 pages. Look at all these different gods. I keep scrolling for days. Now, no one has come down to help us. Why is that? And they got us sitting praying to a certain being for help when that same power that's inside those gods are inside you. You don't need to be praying to no God when the creator is already inside you. That certain energy is inside you. You have to get up and make things happen for yourself. Ain't no praying down and asking for a higher power to help you when the highest power of all is already inside you. It's that energy from the creator. It's all energy. It's all around you. That energy is inside those gods. And it's inside of you. And this is why a lot of things are happening in this world. And I feel like this is why a lot of things has went bad, because people haven't realized the power that's in themselves already. They haven't realized that. You sit down, you come to a certain being to help you when you can get up and make some things happen yourself. Stop relying on someone to come down and help you. And for you Christians, because I feel like it's more Christians in the world out of all the religions. I feel like Christianity dominates. And they say Jesus is coming back. He's coming back when? He hasn't come back yet. And we go back to the Bible and review Jesus' character. Jesus was the main one that like people to suffer. And that's why a lot of people don't know this type of stuff, because they don't read their book. And then the whole thing about it is, you don't want, why would, if you say a certain God is real, why didn't they have that much power to put install that information inside your head? Why do I have to read a book to understand who my creator is? And that's real when you sit there and think about that. No book can tell you how this world was created. When we take a look at reality, and what we call reality, you can't really describe it. When I say creator, I'm talking about a certain energy, certain presence that's bigger than all of us. And it's very hard to try to categorize the creator. I'm not an atheist. I don't believe in gods, but I do believe in a certain power that created this world. You'd be stupid to not say there's a certain power that created the world. And I'm not saying it's the Big Bang. All I'm saying is energy. There's energy inside every one of us. And then we have to channel that energy. If we want certain things in the world, we need to start praying to certain gods and just channel that energy. That power is in you. And when we think about life, it's really hard to describe this world. It is amazing to be able to wake up and just experience the life period. We get up, we get to experience so many things in this world, which is powerful by itself. You can't really explain that. Like, we just ask somebody, how are we existing? You can't explain that. You just know that something is responsible for the creation. And I think that's one of the biggest problems. We as humans try to look for the answers for everything. When in reality, you don't need to know everything. You just need to be grateful and thankful that you're here to experience this experience. You know what I'm saying? And I used to have a lot of questions when I was young. It's like, it drive me crazy trying to figure this out. And I got to the point and realized you can't figure all this stuff out. Just be grateful that you're allowed to see this. Just try to spread positivity throughout the world. There's a lot of negative energy throughout this world, negative and positive. But yeah, I just want y'all to think about that. Because there's a big difference between gods and the creator. Like I said, name one God that has come down to help humanity. Not one has come down to help us. We need to help ourselves. We need to channel the energy inside us and make some things happen. It's all in you. But yeah, I just want y'all to think about that. And y'all just continue to stay safe and stay positive. And thank you for your time. Peace.
I always have to exalt myself in my mystical dialogue in my mind. I have to be a superhero. I have to put my own cape on. You understand? I have to be my own God. So God is just a word. And yes, man did create God. And he only did so to control the physical world. You have to create gods. I create gods all the time. You see?
For the self-help wealth. Only play the cards I was dealt. If you ever struggle, I know how you felt. For the self-help wealth, never set your crown on the shelf. I've been living like I'm fighting for the belt. For the self-help wealth, only play the cards I was dealt. If you ever struggle, I know how you felt. For the self-help wealth, never set your crown on the shelf. I've been living like I'm fighting for the belt.
Yeah. It's all about the blue Benjamins, smooth renderings, over crude instruments, rude sentiments. Why y'all always complaining? True gentlemen, I ain't with no debating. You don't know me, jabroni, I'm just saying. Red and blue, purple like Prince, always raining. Tony, Californicating. A few incidents led to two rinsing then. Dudes mentioning who sent for them, had to get nori, a true hindrance. You mention him, renders you impotent. I thought you was harder than two gentlemen looking to do lewd incidents. You rendering a reality. The you incident through a galaxy centered on a fallacy. Now you lost in space. Opportunities are hourly tossed away when you talk to walk the way of the cowardly. If they conquer the mind, which launches design and imagery, they don't have to physically overpower me. Shit, I will religiously offer dowry to be married to their hourly wage of sin. The waves of the slaves are in. Once again, gotta go back to a time when we were paid in calories. Shit, we was famous then. Say my name again, I'm gaining strength.
For the self-help wealth, only play the cards I was dealt. If you ever struggle, I know how you felt. For the self-help wealth, never set your crown on the shelf. I've been living like I'm fighting for the belt. For the self-help wealth, only play the cards I was dealt. If you ever struggle, I know how you felt. For the self-help wealth, never set your crown on the shelf. I've been living like I'm fighting for the belt.
That cloth talk, that chinchilla, red pillar, man in the mirror. My father has many mansions. My mind travels like City Hamptons. Shabazz Palace in the heavens. The pillars blowing up your phone, Galaxy 7. That only world on my shoulder, galaxy in heavens. We heavy lifting, carrying the crucifixion for every Christian. The pillars be buzzing like Chevy engines. We mixing superstition, facts and fiction, true religion, black magicians, activism, activists sipping on activism. We are not the same. Oculus Rift to your Activision. Commodore 64. All I know is carnivores and shifty horse. On a night shift like Commodores in 84. Obey these laws, they wanna slay these Moors. Seen the same wars that Bill Bixby saw. In the age of the Ultron, coolest king in the jungle. They raised us on Voltron. He-Man, Skeletor, masters of the universe. Optimus, Megatron, blasting here the Toolies burst. Transformer, G.I. Joe's, 3 eyes closed. Dr. Mindbender, Poppy Field Farms. Dr. Octopus, Octopus Arms.
For the self-help wealth, only play the cards I was dealt. If you ever struggle, I know how you felt. For the self-help wealth, never set your crown on the shelf. I've been living like I'm fighting for the belt. For the self-help wealth, only play the cards I was dealt. If you ever struggle, I know how you felt. For the self-help wealth, never set your crown on the shelf. I've been living like I'm fighting for the belt.
Yo, we communicate non-verbal. We illuminate beyond circles, our spheres of influence, to hear the sentiments, to reinforce the creed and law, to either or you seize it all, or agree to fall. No middle ground, don't kid around, no quitting now. Seize the ball and implement offensive measures, clinch the treasures and the trophies. The endeavor to do whatever, to die on both feet as opposed to both knees. Remain solid as oak trees. And whatever you doing, like Oakley, shit, who wants to be you and with both knees in ruin? No jewelry, just foolery attached to your name. The missed layups, coursing championship games. You can get way up, only to crash in flames. Niggas stay up, pleasure comes after the pain. Until then, you gotta lay up after the games.
For the self-help wealth, only play the cards I was dealt. If you ever struggle, I know how you felt. For the self-help wealth, never set your crown on the shelf. I've been living like I'm fighting for the belt. For the self-help wealth, only play the cards I was dealt. If you ever struggle, I know how you felt. For the self-help wealth, never set your crown on the shelf. I've been living like I'm fighting for the belt.